Call the Finance Committee to order. First item on the agenda is the April 6th minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is financial update. Mr. Pusey.
Thank you. Obviously, we have 2 months left in the school year. We're doing just fine, barely. Next month, we look forward to bringing forward to the board, under your guidance, the purchases from the surplus that was allotted to the department. You heard Mr. Toddy talking about one project tonight that we hit the radar, so we'll have an update for that. The other thing that I'd like to forecast for the board is, prior to COVID, we started in August looking at our solar savings. So we have solar on many of our buildings, so I met with Samantha Kelly the other day, and we're going to look forward to bringing that back. Obviously, one of our large costs this year was the increase in electric and natural gas, so we want to share that back out with the board, and we look forward to doing that in August.
Okay. Any questions?
Just wondering, Mr. Pusey, with regard to like academic needs for surplus funds, if there are any purchases, like I know the music department was interested in taking some of their instruments and whatnot. Have you heard from any departments and requests?
I haven't gotten specific, but we're not done with the surplus, so,
Okay.
you know. Yep.
All right, thank you.
Anything else from superintendent? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to the next item on the agenda, which is Rochester School District Foundation.
So in your packet is the update that we talked about last month. Again, if you flip, what wasn't in last month's packet is the last page of the packet. This was informational for me because this all happened prior to my arrival in Rochester. So this is my 7th year here in the district. This foundation was established prior to me. I'm not sure if many or any of the board members here were a part of the foundation that preceded my tenure here. So what I did is I found this as I was going through a lot of old files during April break to jog folks' memory. I think one of the things that's in the packet is that the foundation is incurring bills right now. I think obviously the foundation was meant to be somewhat of a pass-through entity for fundraising capabilities and then possible donations made to different organizations that the foundation felt was worthy of such a donation. We're not taking in money, but we're expending money for this right now. So we had a website. There were dues to the Rochester Chamber of Commerce, which in further review, the foundation was paying dues, which the district was paying. The district was paying dues for a district subscription, and Michelle Halligan Foley was paying for the CT to have 3 chamber memberships. So we're going to have 1 chamber membership, okay? I chose to keep at least the foundation's name on the chamber membership, not knowing what the board would want to do for the next year. It'd be my recommendation that the updated packet be given to Mr. Grossman, our attorney, to review, at least from a financial standpoint, and share with the board perhaps at the board meeting, with what your next steps would be. In here you see that there's some of the laws about the foundation, the fact that you would need to reestablish a board of directors, you'd have to have a process in place. So again, my recommendation would be to give him the updated packet and then provide full board guidance next Thursday.
So I'll speak to that if I could for a second. My intention was to ask the board what members would be interested. Last time we discussed this, Audrey was going to reach out to Peg, who was part of the original push, and I haven't heard back. And I'm going to go through the original list. Bob Watson was on it, Dave Stevens was on it, I was on it, Mike Hopkins was on it, and Linda Bartlett was on it. So we had a nice little consortium. We were trying to figure out how to fundraise for that. We had some clever ideas, and the intention was to use it, and then things kind of fell apart. It's just what happens. But I think there's a good initiative there, so I think the board should reassign a couple of people to be on it who are interested in doing such a thing, and I'll connect with Audrey about Peg before we get too far down the road. All right? So I'll bring that up under other next Thursday. Is that it, Kyle, for that?
That's it. Yeah.
Great. Financial items from personnel, we didn't have any, correct?
Correct.
Just the stipends, but we need to approve those because there's no dollar value.
They're
Okay.
within the contract.
And then from building, we've got the RMS ventilation project in the amount of $257,253.
So make the motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. That was it from building, correct? We just extended the bid, so that was not a monetary. Got it. 5-year? Good right now.
Right, yeah, the only items were, I think they can wait till after, next quarter, over the summer.
Right. Went through what
I
we-
mean, one of them, software redundancies, we put that as completed.
Yep.
You guys do have to talk about, you're at 2 items in here, so you could be reviewing your parking lot
Yeah.
for an additional item to come up, but I would say at this point, I think the focus should be on item 3, the capital reserve funds for facilities and special education, which is apparatus and all that stuff, so that needs to be reconvened. And then your bidding process, is there any changes we wanna make to do more with the current, it's no longer just read a newspaper, right?
Right.
We do have it on our website,
Right.
we might be okay with it, but it's just a matter of, this committee should review that process.
Right, I think that's a much longer winded conversation. I've
For
got to do
future.
some legwork on that too before the conversation comes up, but I think until the budget's approved, we're not gonna rekindle the conversation
Oh, yeah.
about the special ed funds. Right now, with the budget still open.
Yeah,
as
again, that's what I was thinking.
As a committee, let's wait till the budget's approved, and we'll go back to city council. Did you have something, Kyle? Okay.
Just reminded myself.
Yes.
In reference to the bid process, didn't that get pushed over to policy?
No.
No?
No, so first, the review has to be done with either with Kyle and the district to see what are other districts doing, are there any options that by law that we could do that we're not
Differently,
doing now?
Yeah.
Because we don't put it in this quote-unquote newspaper, but it's on our website, and maybe just a review from this policy, this committee of what are the steps being done? Is there anything within gift being done? If you guys are good, check.
Okay. Well, Kyle, if you could look into what other districts are doing in comparison and what we may not be up to date on, and bring it to the next meeting, that'd be helpful. I want to weigh in on the reserve funds, that, for me,
Completely agree.
unfortunately, and I think in the next meeting, after we talk about that, we can reassign what we have, so I'll review the parking lot, and we can make an assessment of
Yeah,
where it is.
either June or July is probably.
July makes sense, hopefully, let's get the budget done and more. Okay, anyone from the public want to address the board? See no public? Anything under other? Mr. Pappas,
Any update from the city council for budget, and did the presentation go well, and?
you want to speak to that, Kyle?
Response from the councilors?
I think it went well. There were a few questions about our CIP plan, a few about safety, but they did see the budget. They congratulated us for the presentation being $1.6 million under the tax cap. And then we'll be attending the future meetings to hear how things proceed.
Great, thank you.
The only positive feedback I got from the counselor was specific to adding the positions. They're like, it's nice to see that you're putting those positions back and you figured out how to balance your budget, so it was good. The only other thing I think we should bring up is the JBC meeting. We met with 3 contractors, general contractors. The overall consensus was good. Great dialogue and conversations with the counselors, pretty excited about how that went. Public feedback was good. They had concerns about structures and places and roads and all valid things that will be discussed when the process gets a little further along into development and design. But I thought the context of the meeting and the presentations were very, very good. I think we're going to have a hard choice trying to find a GC, but the first JBC went very well. Our next meeting is May 24th at 6 here. If anybody wants to attend, you're welcome to. But it was a very nice dialogue between us and City Council and everyone else involved. So I'm looking forward to that project continuing to keep its momentum. Anything else under other, guys? Nothing? All right, so a motion to adjourn.
So,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.